This presentation will be on eyewitness memory and its reliability, especially in the context of its potential effect to criminal justice. According to the Innocence Project in 2015, more than 70% of wrongful convictions were due to inaccurate eyewitness identifications. Eyewitness memory plays a crucial role in law enforcement, but research has shown that there are many factors that influence a witness's ability to accurately identify a perpetrator. These factors include emotional state, conditions under which the crime is witnessed, and the confidence of the witness. Eyewitness memory can either secure justice or lead to a wrongful conviction, so it's vital to assess its reliability carefully. The first study we'll discuss is Wickstead et al. 2017, which looked at how confidence relates to eyewitness accuracy. Wickstead found that a higher confidence level, especially immediately after the identification, tends to correlate with higher accuracy. However, confidence after a lapse of time or under imperfect conditions can be less reliable. Their study showed that correct identification ranged from 42% for low confidence to 91% for high confidence under optimal conditions. However, the study was conducted in a controlled environment, which may not reflect real-world situations where stress, poor line of administration, or distractions may interfere with identification accuracy. Now let's discuss inattentional blindness. Wolf and Hyman 2021 found that inattentional blindness, or failing to notice key details because of focus on other tasks, greatly diminishes accuracy of eyewitness identifications. In their study, only 16% of those under inattentional blindness correctly identified the perpetrator, compared to 44% in the control group. Linus 2021 replicated this experiment and found a similar trend, that inattentional blindness impacts the accuracy of an eyewitness. Furthermore, stress and fear can also further impair memory of an eyewitness. Bornstein and Robichaud, 2009, studied the effects of negative emotional arousal and concluded that stress impairs the recall of peripheral details and even central details, such as the perpetrator's identity. This is crucial because witnesses may be experiencing high stress during a crime, which can directly affect the accuracy of their identifications. Kirsten et al. 2021 found that negative emotional arousal increased the chances of false memories, even when the witness could recall the event accurately. Their experiment showed a significant difference in how participants performed under emotionally charged conditions versus neutral ones. This suggests that while emotional arousal may improve recall for some details of a crime, it also increases the risk for misinformation. Another relevant study was conducted by Valentine and Messout, 2009, where participants went through the London Dungeon horror maze, where they encountered costume actors designed to provoke fear. The researchers found that participants with high anxiety or high fear had fewer correct descriptors and more errors when identifying the actor. Their results suggest that acute stress can reduce the accuracy of eyewitness identifications. This experiment is significant because it demonstrates how real-world stressors like fear can dramatically affect eyewitness performance, mimicking situations where witnesses may be under duress after witnessing a crime. Further studies by Atwood et al. 2013 and Christensen et al. 2007 have shown that even in controlled settings, anxiety and fear can degrade the accuracy of facial recognition, which is crucial in eyewitness identification situations. These studies show that anxiety, whether induced by carbon dioxide, or fear stimuli, can impair the ability to identify faces accurately. These findings add weight to the argument that eyewitness memory, particularly under stress, is not as reliable as we may assume. To assess the reliability of eyewitness memory, we reviewed several studies using databases such as PsycInfo, EBSCOhost, Google Scholar, and the College of New Jersey Advanced Search. We selected studies that focused on eyewitness memory, lineups, and conditions that could influence identification accuracy, such as attention and emotional states. As a class, we reviewed 37 studies encompassing 99 experimental conditions. To evaluate identification accuracy, we compared the accuracy rates in various conditions, including those influenced by negative emotional arousal or inattentional blindness. The studies measured both confidence of eyewitnesses and their ability to correctly identify a perpetrator in a lineup using statistical analysis to determine correlations. In some studies, such as Wickstead et al. 2017, confidence in the identification was correlated with accuracy. However, in real-world conditions, like those with inattentional blindness, Wolf and Hyman 2021, confidence didn't necessarily lead to higher accuracy. In fact, a steep decline in accuracy was seen at the highest confidence levels on the provided chart. In the Linus experiment, we see a correlation between increase in confidence and accuracy, as this looked to mimic the Wolf and Hyman 2021 experiment. However, we see a much lower percentage of accuracy in the second conducted experiment, where the condition of inattentional blindness was introduced. Studies consistently showed that high levels of stress or fear during a crime impaired eyewitness memory. For example, participants exposed to emotionally charged events, Christian et al. 2021, were more likely to create false memories despite high confidence in their identification. Similarly, Valentine and Messout, 2009, found that stress caused by fear led to fewer correct identifications. These results show that while confidence can be a predictor of accuracy in ideal conditions, real-world factors like stress, fear, and distractions can significantly reduce the reliability of eyewitness memory. The studies reviewed suggest that eyewitness memory is influenced by several factors, challenging the idea that eyewitness identification is a strongly reliable tool for justice. Confidence may correlate with accuracy in controlled settings, but under real-world conditions, this correlation breaks down. Factors like inattentional blindness show that when witnesses are distracted or fail to notice crucial details, their ability to identify the perpetrator is severely compromised. Furthermore, negative emotional arousal, such as stress, fear, or anxiety, consistently impair memory. These emotions are common in crime situations and can distort both peripheral and central details of the event. Research like that from Bornstein and Robichaud, 2009, and Kirsten et al. 2021 highlight the negative impact of stress on both accuracy of recall and the identification of suspects. While studies like Wickstead et al. 2017 show that confidence in eyewitness identification can indicate accuracy, real-world conditions often lead to much lower accuracy rates, regardless of confidence. The idealized conditions where confidence correlates strongly with accuracy do not reflect the complexities of actual crime scenarios, where witnesses are often under stress or distracted. In conclusion, eyewitness memory is far from perfect. Factors like emotional arousal, attentional focus, or even line of conditions all influence a witness's ability to accurately recall and identify a perpetrator. While confidence may be a predictor of accuracy, under controlled conditions, this correlation weakens in real-world situations where stress, fear, anxiety, and distractions all come into play. The studies reviewed in this presentation emphasize the importance of considering external factors when evaluating eyewitness testimony. The finding that identification accuracy often remains below 50% despite high confidence should urge caution when relying on eyewitness identifications in criminal cases. This has significant implications for the justice system, as wrongful convictions based on faulty eyewitness testimony could have life-altering consequences for innocent individuals. Future research should be focused on real-world settings to better understand how factors such as stress, age, gender, or many other variables may affect eyewitness memory. Additionally, standardization of how eyewitnesses are interviewed and how lineups are conducted may help to mitigate the impact of these variables and improve eyewitness testimony over time. Thank you.